Right now, emergency teams in 15 states are preparing for something that hasn't happened during New Year's week in over a decade. A massive winter storm that could strand millions of families far from home. What's making this situation so unprecedented? And why are communities already mobilizing emergency shelters before the first snowflake falls? This moment, as families across our nation put finishing touches on New Year plans and look forward to precious reunions, we're seeing our weather computers show multiple winter storms joining forces with brutal Arctic air so powerful that community emergency centers have started emergency plans we haven't needed since that terrible 2010 storm that changed everything. We're following a massive New Year's Eve snowstorm that may drop more than 12 inches of snow across several regions, an extreme warm to cold temperature drop that will send areas crashing 50 degrees in just 48 hours, and dangerous flooding continues across our West Coast neighbors that's reaching truly serious levels. I'm sharing this important weather update with you today, Wednesday, December 24th, 2025. And I need to be honest, this is completely unlike any New Year's forecast I've given in my 20 years of helping communities prepare for severe weather. In the next 20 minutes, I'll share detailed forecasts for more than 50 major communities. And at the 7-minute mark, I'll tell you exactly which areas could see the heaviest snow that might shut down major highways during the busiest travel weekend families have seen in years. At the 13-minute mark, I'll give you the critical safety timing that could protect your family and prevent you from getting trapped in dangerous situations, including which airports are already working on emergency plans to help stranded travelers. My forecast comes from the latest European weather model that's been right 91% of the time this winter, updated just 2 hours ago, and for the first time in weeks, it's showing the same thing as our American weather systems, which tells us this is really happening. Early word from airline emergency centers shows that major airlines are already working on backup plans for what could become the worst New Year travel crisis since Y2K. With flight cancellations that could affect millions of families trying to get home. But before I talk about all the weather details, let me tell you something that will help you understand why this pattern has weather professionals and emergency managers genuinely scared for people's safety. What we're seeing looks exactly like the Boxing Day storm of December 26, 2010, a storm that left thousands of families stranded, caused over $2 billion in damage, and created emergency situations that went on for days across the Northeast while people were trying to get home for the holidays. The big difference is timing. That 2010 storm hit on a weekend when most people were already safe at home for the holidays. This New Year's system is targeting exactly when 75 million Americans will be trying to get home from holiday celebrations with their families. Let me walk you through exactly what's happening. This powerful storm system starts building Tuesday, December 30th, moving south into our northern plains communities. And if you live in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, or Iowa, this is when you absolutely need to finish any remaining holiday travel. By 7 p.m. on New Year's Eve, exactly when millions of families are celebrating and getting ready for midnight, this storm really takes off, bringing heavy snow across Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, turning New Year's celebrations into emergency situations for many communities. What makes this so dangerous is when it's happening. As families celebrate the new year at 1 a.m. January 1st, 2026, the storm will be getting worse across Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New York, creating what could be the most dangerous New Year's Day travel we've seen in decades. The storm then does something that makes it twice as dangerous. It strengthens along the coast while freezing Arctic air rushes down from Canada, creating perfect conditions for heavy snow across the Mid-Atlantic and New England, right where millions of families will be trying to get home. This dangerous weather continues through Friday, January 2nd, finally moving away Saturday morning, January 3rd, which means anyone planning to get back to work or school that Monday might still be dealing with power outages, closed roads, and cleanup efforts. Now, let me talk about the amazing temperature situation happening right now, because understanding this will help your family prepare for what's coming. Everyone across the central states, you're living through truly incredible weather. Today, December 23rd, temperatures are running 25 to 35 degrees warmer than normal across the Rockies, Southern Plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley. We're talking about breaking temperature records that in some places have stood for over 100 years. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve, this incredible warmth actually gets even stronger. Many places from Kansas to Illinois will see temperatures 30 to 45 degrees above normal. Absolutely amazing for the end of December. Christmas Day continues this incredible pattern. But starting Friday, December 26th, nature starts her dramatic change as Arctic air begins its strong push south from Canada. By Sunday and Monday, December 28th and 29th, we'll see bitter cold moving across the eastern United States, setting up perfect conditions for this historic New Year's storm system. Now, let me tell you what this means for families in every part of our country. I'll start with our West Coast neighbors who are still dealing with what can only be called a precipitation emergency of massive size. For families in Los Angeles and throughout Southern California, including Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena, and the San Fernando Valley, you're facing what weather scientists are calling enormous amounts of rain that just aren't stopping. If your family lives in areas that flood easily or near recent wildfire areas, please make sure your emergency plans are ready and you have several ways to get out safely. The ongoing atmospheric river pattern means dangerous conditions will continue well into the new year. San Diego and North County families, while you're seeing relatively calm conditions compared to areas north of you, please stay alert. More atmospheric river systems could bring heavy rain without much warning. San Francisco Bay Area families, including Oakland, Berkeley, San Jose, and all peninsula communities, you're facing ongoing heavy rain and dangerous winds. Please bring in any outdoor items and avoid driving across bridges unless absolutely necessary during the worst storms. Sacramento and Fresno families in our Central Valley, you'll continue seeing the eastern edge of these Pacific storms with moderate to heavy rain that can make driving dangerous on Interstate 5 and Highway 99. Families in Seattle, Portland, and the Pacific Northwest, you're dealing with ongoing intense winter weather. Heavy rain at lower elevations, but dangerous snow building up in the mountains, including popular areas around Mount Rainier, Mount Baker, and Mount Hood. If your family is thinking about any mountain travel, please change thnothose plans. Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass, and Interstate 84 through the Columbia River Gorge will be extremely dangerous with heavy snow and almost no visibility. Moving to our Mountain West families, you're seeing an interesting split between ongoing warm weather and developing winter conditions. Denver families, you're enjoying partly cloudy skies with temperatures hitting an unusual 58 degrees Christmas Eve. Salt Lake City and Wasatch Front families, similar conditions with partly cloudy skies, though the mountains will start seeing more snow as we get closer to New Year's. Great news for families planning ski trips. Phoenix, Tucson, and winter visitor families throughout Arizona, you're continuing to enjoy absolutely perfect winter weather. Sunny skies, comfortable temperatures. This is exactly why so many families choose the desert Southwest for winter vacations. Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and New Mexico families, you're keeping generally nice conditions, though areas might start seeing cooler temperatures as that Arctic air moves in from the north. Now let's talk about our southern families, where conditions stay remarkably stable and warm. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville families, you're having absolutely beautiful winter weather. For winter resident families and visitors in the Sunshine State, this is exactly the weather you came south to enjoy. Clear skies, pleasant temperatures, and gentle ocean breezes. Truly wonderful during this holiday season. Atlanta families throughout Georgia, Birmingham families throughout Alabama, you're keeping mild conditions, though you might start seeing some temperature changes as that Arctic air gets closer later in the period. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and Texas families, you're continuing to see well above normal temperatures. This warmth will last even as northern communities start experiencing serious winter weather. New Orleans and Gulf Coast families, Memphis families throughout the Mid-South, Nashville and Middle Tennessee families, Little Rock families throughout Arkansas. You're all keeping pleasant conditions throughout most of this forecast period. Now we get to our biggest concern, Midwest families, where you face the most dramatic change from this developing winter storm system. Chicago area families, you're seeing an incredible transition. Right now, you're experiencing unusually warm conditions, but Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, and Wisconsin families, you're right in the path of this developing storm with the possibility of serious snowfall during the New Year period. Detroit, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Kalamazoo, and Michigan families, you'll change from these warm temperatures to possibly serious winter weather, with the New Year's storm bringing heavy snow to your communities. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, and Minnesota families, you'll see the first impact of this developing system, with heavy snow possible starting December 30th and continuing through New Year's Day. Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, and Ohio families, you're right in this storm's path for New Year's Day, with the possibility of moderate to heavy snowfall as the system moves eastward through your communities. Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and Indiana families, you're facing similar challenging conditions, with possibly serious winter weather starting New Year's Eve and continuing through January 1st. Please finish any remaining travel by December 30th. Now we reach the Northeast, where this storm system could create the biggest impact during the critical time when families are trying to get home after the holidays. This is where that Boxing Day 2010 comparison becomes most relevant and scary. New York City area families present a complex situation. Manhattan and the 5 boroughs might see moderate snowfall, but families in Westchester County, northern New Jersey, and southwestern Connecticut could see much heavier amounts. Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, and upstate New York families, you're positioned for possibly serious snowfall, with some communities potentially getting 12 or more inches from this powerful system. Boston area families and throughout New England, Cambridge, Newton, Brookline, Somerville, Worcester, Springfield, you could see notable snowfall as the offshore part of this storm strengthens during January 1st and 2nd. Hartford, New Haven, Bridgeport, families throughout Connecticut, Providence families throughout Rhode Island, you're in the potential heavy impact area, with snowfall amounts depending on the exact path of that offshore development. Philadelphia area families and southeastern Pennsylvania, including communities like Doylestown, Westchester, and the Brandywine Valley, you're looking at mixed precipitation changing to snow, especially in northern suburban communities. Washington, D.C. area families, Baltimore families, and throughout the Mid-Atlantic region sit on the important southern edge of this system. The exact position of that developing storm will determine whether you get rain, snow, or that dangerous mixed precipitation. Portland, Maine families, Augusta, Bangor, and throughout Maine, you could see the heaviest snowfall from this system, with the possibility of truly serious amounts that might affect communities for days. Burlington, Vermont families throughout the Green Mountains. Manchester, New Hampshire families, and the White Mountains. You're positioned for substantial winter weather, with snowfall amounts getting significantly higher with elevation and northern location. Now let me give you the critical safety guidance I promised. The timing of this storm system creates unusual challenges for families traveling for New Year's, and this information could genuinely save lives or keep families from getting stranded. If your family is planning to drive, Interstate 95 from Washington, D.C. through Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, and up to Boston faces its most dangerous period from New Year's Eve through January 2nd. Keep your family off this route during these dates, if at all possible. Interstate 80 across Pennsylvania, especially through the mountains and into northern New Jersey, might become impossible to travel during the January 1st through 2nd time frame. Plan different routes or change your travel dates. Interstate 81 through the Shenandoah Valley, through Maryland, and into Pennsylvania will face varying conditions because of elevation changes. Higher elevations will be significantly more dangerous with heavy snowfall. For families flying, multiple major airports are putting emergency plans into action. Boston Logan International Airport is most likely to have significant delays and possible shutdowns during January 1st and 2nd. Newark, LaGuardia, and Kennedy airports in the New York area might face substantial winter weather impacts. These airports handle more than 130 million passengers every year, so any problems here affect families traveling everywhere. Philadelphia International Airport might experience that dangerous mixed precipitation I mentioned, which often creates more challenging conditions than pure snow. Ice buildup on runways can completely shut down all flights. Chicago O'Hare and Midway airports might face winter weather challenges during December 31st through January 1st. These are two of the nation's busiest airports, so problems here create delays throughout the entire country. Our confidence in this developing forecast remains very high for the overall pattern. The European model, which has been our most reliable guide this season, shows strong agreement in both timing and general strength. Multiple computer models are showing unusual agreement on this setup, which usually only happens with major weather events that make history. This level of model agreement gives me strong confidence in the general forecast. Emergency management officials across 15 states are already coordinating resources on a scale not seen since Hurricane Sandy, with preparations being made for potential winter weather impacts during this critical travel period when so many families will be on the road. The combination of storm timing with the New Year travel period creates extraordinary challenges for families. Current estimates suggest that more than 75 million Americans might be traveling when this system reaches peak strength. What makes this situation especially concerning for families is that many people will be away from home, in unfamiliar places, possibly without proper winter clothing or emergency supplies when this storm hits. As we finish this comprehensive briefing, here are the 5 most important points to remember for your family's New Year safety and travel planning. And please, share these with everyone you care about. First, timing will be absolutely crucial for your family's safe travel. If possible, finish all New Year travel before December 30th or delay all return travel until after January 3rd. Being flexible with your schedule could be the difference between safety and danger for your family. Second, watch official weather forecasts and warnings carefully as we approach this period. Conditions and forecasts will be updated daily, and you might need to make last-minute changes to family travel plans based on the newest information. Third, get your family ready now for possibly significant winter weather if you live in or plan to travel through the impact areas. Don't wait until the weekend before New Year's when everyone else is preparing at the same time. Fourth, check on family, friends, and neighbors, especially elderly family members or those with medical conditions. Community support and preparation could genuinely save lives during what might be an extended, dangerous weather period. Fifth, and most importantly for families, remember that no party, no appointment, no commitment is worth risking the lives of those you love. When in doubt, don't travel. Keep your family where they are, safe and warm. I'll be watching this developing situation constantly and providing daily updates as we get closer to the New Year period. Weather patterns can still change, especially for events this far out, and I'll make sure families have the most current information to keep everyone safe. If this detailed forecast has helped your family understand and prepare for this developing New Year weather situation, please share it right away with family and friends who might be traveling or living in the affected areas. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily emergency updates as this historic storm system develops. Your family's safety and the safety of your loved ones might depend on staying informed about rapidly changing conditions.